What if the changes happening in your body and mind right now aren't random? What if they're not stress, fatigue, or some mysterious burnout, but something far deeper? Something invisible, yet powerful. Something ancient. Right now, you may be going through an energetic transformation that your conscious mind hasn't caught up with. You're experiencing what's called ascension symptoms. And no, they don't always look like what people talk about. They're not always intense dreams or seeing lights. Sometimes they're subtle, even uncomfortable shifts that you don't realize are part of your spiritual evolution. That's why today we're going deep. These are 5 rare and completely overlooked ascension symptoms that signal your energy is rising faster than you can consciously process. Let's begin. You might not notice it at first. A few days feel slightly strange. You wake up before your alarm, but not out of restlessness. It's as if your body is nudging you awake because something in the energy around you has shifted. You check the clock, and it reads 3:33. Again. The first few times, you brush it off. Coincidence, right? But then it keeps happening. Over and over. Until you realize your inner sense of time is no longer in sync with the clock on your wall. That's the first clue. One of the most hidden but deeply spiritual ascension symptoms is when your relationship to time begins to unravel. You stop experiencing time as a straight line. Your memories begin to blur. Something that happened a week ago feels like a lifetime ago. And something from your past suddenly feels recent, alive, even if it occurred years earlier. Time isn't breaking. You are detaching from the illusion of linearity. As your vibration rises, your spirit begins pulling away from the matrix of time. Because time, as we know it, is a construct of the third-dimensional world. But your soul doesn't live in that structure. It lives in moments, pulses, and intuition. And now it's trying to free your mind from the tyranny of the clock. You may begin experiencing time loops, déjà vu that makes you question reality, or days that feel infinite, even though they fly by. This isn't anxiety. It's an energetic shift. Your body is adjusting to cosmic time, the kind of time where alignment matters more than minutes. And with that shift comes chaos. Your sleep becomes unpredictable. You feel exhausted after doing nothing. You get energetic hangovers from emotionally intense days. Even more subtly, your inner rhythm no longer matches society's pace. You crave stillness when others are speeding up. You feel urgency when others are relaxed. That mismatch is your system syncing with energy, not the clock. And here's where it gets even more mysterious. You start to intuitively feel when something is off in the timeline. You sense delays before they happen. You feel when you're early to something energetically. You begin living by energy flow, not a schedule. So if you feel like time is breaking, it's not. You are simply awakening to a new layer of reality. And your internal clock, it's not broken. It's evolving into something far more intuitive. Have you ever felt a strange pressure in your forearm with no explanation? Or noticed that your legs felt full, not swollen, not tired, but dense, like something was sitting inside them? That's not your imagination. That's not muscle fatigue. It's something energetic. One of the most overlooked ascension symptoms is this. Your body begins storing energy in places it never did before. As your frequency rises, the nervous system goes through a complete recalibration. Your chakras become more active, but not just the main ones you read about. Micro-chakras, lesser-known energetic nodes throughout your body, also begin opening. And these nodes act like mini storage centers, holding energy your system hasn't fully processed yet. You might feel tightness in your jaw for no reason, or warmth in your hands that feels electric, or tension in the soles of your feet that won't go away even after rest. It's because your body is holding vibrations, like a sponge. But unlike a sponge, your body doesn't just soak them in. It temporarily holds them until your spiritual system catches up. This is why stretching or resting often doesn't fix the discomfort. Because it's not about muscles. It's about frequencies that are too advanced to fully integrate right away. Imagine downloading a massive file into a phone that can't quite run the program. It saves the file, but it can't open it yet. That's what your body is doing with high vibrational energy during ascension. Your body may even feel heavier, not bloated, not sick, just grounded, stuck to the floor, as if some part of your being is anchoring you against the pull of something invisible. This is especially true in the legs, hips, and lower spine, areas responsible for grounding your soul to the earth. This can feel confusing, even alarming. You may begin fearing there's something wrong, but this wrongness is simply your energy becoming denser before it can rise. Think of it like coiling a spring. Before it can launch upward, it compresses. So when your body starts reacting in these strange ways, don't just reach for physical explanations. Listen deeper. Ask yourself, where is this energy trying to go? What am I resisting that my soul wants to release? You're not being punished. You're being transformed from the inside out. You walk into a space that once brought you peace, maybe your favorite room, a coffee shop, a park, and something feels wrong. Not scary, not bad, just foreign, like you don't belong there anymore. This is one of the most emotionally confusing symptoms of ascension, energetic dissonance with familiar places. It happens when your energy rises so rapidly that the environments you used to match no longer feel aligned. The furniture didn't change. The walls are still painted the same. But the frequency of the space no longer fits your aura. Ascension causes your aura to expand. And with that expansion comes a new sensitivity. You start to feel the emotional residue left in places, the stagnant energy in objects, the hidden heaviness in rooms you'd never noticed before. It's not just in your head. Your soul is reacting to the invisible vibrations around you. Old environments carry your past energetic imprints. The version of you that used to live, cry, overthink, or worry in those spaces is still there, spiritually speaking. And when you outgrow that version of yourself, those spaces feel like they're trapping you in your old frequency. This is why even your bedroom may feel strange. Your home doesn't reflect who you're becoming, and your energy system is trying to guide you towards something new. Even if your physical life hasn't caught up yet, you may feel this shift in relationships too. You sit with old friends, but the conversation feels hollow. You go to family gatherings, but feel emotionally distant. The world you once belonged to now feels like a memory. And that disconnection is sacred. It's not that you've become cold or detached. It's that your soul is whispering, it's time to move on. Not necessarily physically, but energetically, to spaces, people, and experiences that mirror the frequency of the person you're becoming. And until that new alignment appears, you may feel homeless, even in your own life. But that emptiness is a bridge, a passage, and walking through it with awareness is what speeds up your spiritual integration. There's a moment in the ascension journey where everything you once craved disappears, not physically, but emotionally. You wake up and no longer feel the fire for the goals you once obsessed over. You stop chasing status. The vision board starts collecting dust, and the dreams that once lit you up now feel like echoes of someone you used to be. It feels like apathy, but it's not. It's desire collapse. One of the deepest, most rarely spoken of ascension symptoms. You see, when your soul ascends, it no longer feeds off desires born from fear, insecurity, or societal programming. And most of our early goals, even the spiritual ones, are rooted in these things. We want success to prove our worth. We want love to feel seen. We want healing to escape pain. But ascension isn't an escape, it's a return. A return to soul-authentic desires. And in order for those desires to bloom, the old ones must die. This death is uncomfortable. You feel empty, directionless. You ask yourself, why don't I care anymore? But this emotional detachment is your soul reclaiming its sovereignty. The attachments are being cleared, and what's left is space, wide, frightening space, for something far more meaningful to enter. But here's the secret. The new desires don't rush in immediately. There's a waiting period, a void, and that void is sacred, because in that stillness, your soul begins downloading original instructions, ones not conditioned by society, fear, or trauma, but ones directly aligned with your energetic purpose. And when the new desire comes, it doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't feel like ambition, it feels like truth. So if you feel aimless right now, know this: your GPS isn't broken, it's being upgraded. And the new destination is far more aligned with who you truly are. You walk into a room, and suddenly someone feels the need to spill their emotions. Or a stranger reacts negatively to you without any clear reason. People either cling to you or seem deeply uncomfortable around you. You haven't changed how you speak or act, but something has changed, and that something is your aura. One of the strangest ascension symptoms is that your aura becomes energetically magnetic, not in the charming, attractive way, but in the deeply spiritual way, where your field begins to pull out unprocessed emotions from others. This is not about being an empath. It's about becoming an energetic mirror. Your expanded energy field starts interacting with people's unconscious wounds without you doing anything. And suddenly, their reactions to you aren't about you at all. They're about what your frequency is making them feel. Some will feel safe around you, instantly opening up. Others will feel threatened, avoiding you, judging you, or projecting onto you. You might begin feeling people's energy before they speak. Their fear shows up as pressure in your chest, their sadness as heaviness in your legs. You're not just absorbing, you're reflecting. And that's why people don't know how to respond to you, because you're not playing by emotional rules anymore. You're vibrating beyond them. This is why so many spiritually awakened people feel exhausted after social interactions. Not because they're introverts, but because they're processing invisible energy, constantly. And unless you learn energetic boundaries, your system can burn out. But don't mistake this magnetism as a burden. It's a sign of your evolution. You're becoming a mirror, not to show people their flaws, but to show them what they haven't healed. And even if they resist it, your presence is activating something within them, whether they like it or not. So hold your field strong, protect your energy, and remember, you're not crazy. You're simply ascending into a level of consciousness that your environment is still catching up to. So what if everything you're experiencing right now, all the confusion, the physical weirdness, the emotional disconnection, the desire collapse, the magnetic pull you can't explain, isn't just random chaos? What if it's sacred? What if your soul is preparing you for something far more powerful than the life you've been taught to expect? You see, ascension doesn't begin with fireworks and enlightenment. It begins with loss. Loss of stability. Loss of who you thought you were. Loss of the energy that once kept you comfortable in lower vibrations. And that's what makes it so difficult to talk about. Because how do you explain to someone that your time perception is breaking, or that your skin is buzzing, or that you feel haunted by silence, or that you can't connect to the things you once loved? You feel alone, not because no one is there, but because your soul is standing at the edge of something, and no one else can see it. But here's what I want you to remember. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are shedding layers that no longer belong to the version of you that is emerging. And that emergence comes with symptoms, strange, silent, invisible markers of transformation. Your nervous system knows. Your energy field knows. Even your dreams know. You're not here by accident. You were guided to this moment because some part of you is finally ready to wake up to who you really are. And that awakening is not a destination. It's a recalibration, a realignment, a return to a frequency you haven't felt since before this lifetime. So honor the symptoms. Honor the stillness. Honor the strange phases of not knowing who you are anymore, because that emptiness is the space where your truth will land. You're not going backward. You're not stuck. You're ascending. And in the next video, we'll go even deeper into what happens when your spiritual awakening pulls you away from the people around you. Why you may feel isolated from friends, disconnected from family, and why the universe sometimes forces you to walk alone before you rise fully. Trust the process, because you're not ending, you're evolving.